There's the steel, ready to go to work. Ah, yes. And here's its intended victim, a dead cherry. Jeez, that's tall. And complicated by the fact that it, see if it falls, that way it'll fall right onto the house. Well, we don't want that. No, we don't want that. So I want to fall it right over here, not over there. But I can see that it really wants to fall. Yeah, you know, I may have to rig up some kind of a block and tackle or something. Let me tell you. Oh man, it's always something. Ear protection. Whoop, there it goes. No more. Oh my gosh, so I took the DR mower and kind of trimmed up down here. Kind of cleaned this up a little bit. It's sort of the backyard. So, I don't know. It looks nice for a while. Kind of the transition then, a little autumn evening smoke there, back into the woods. And there's the guest house over there. Nice big fir tree there. Huh. Well, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do here. Because it really wants to fall on the shed. And it will certainly hit the shed, and it'd be a blessing in a way if it knocked down my woodshed. Because it was so minimal 35 years ago. And it's remained standing, so I haven't done anything about it. So that's on the right over there. It's just a piece of tin roofing laid across a few 2x4s. I mean, it is so minimal. When it snows, which isn't that often here, I always think, oh my God, it's going to collapse. But it never does. So I was out at Big Valley yesterday opening up the road. My back's been kind of sore, and it turns out, yeah, the MRI revealed I have some severe stenosis in my lumbar region, just in one place, so that's good. So we're going to try some injections, I think, but that hasn't happened yet. So I'm kind of taking it easy, trying not to damage myself too much. Actually, before I came up here, I was thinking, oh, this is going to be a little easier than I thought it would be. But no, it's not. Because of that missing section right there. It's going to weaken it, and it's going to make it want to fall bang right on the house or the shed. Well, neither is a good outcome. So what we did one time, the neighbor, when I first moved in here, I had to bring a couple trees down, and the neighbor got a big rope and tied it to my pickup truck, and then we ran it around without a block even. He worked at the Naval Shipyard in Bremerton, so he kind of was familiar with jerry rigging stuff. And so we put the final cuts in, and then attached the rope to the truck, and then I put it in gear and was pulling with the truck, and he did just that final cut, and it kind of came down approximately where we wanted. But nothing like a huge tree to ruin your day. I'm gonna have to rethink this. Yeah. It needs to come down though. It's a dead tree. And if it comes down on its own, it definitely will come down on the house. So, now, it's looking like, wow, that just isn't good. Huh. Well, more thought is required on this one. So anyway, I'm smoking some Autumn Evening, which when it came out I was all excited about. Ooh, a Virginia-based aromatic with just a topping. I think there's quite a bit of propylene glycol in there too, though. I just don't really care for the flavor too much. It burns okay. It's a little ashy to me. I don't know. So, not one of my favorites. But I thought, what the heck? That's from Dan Squires. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. I have a bunch of it too. I've got over a pound of it. Sometimes your cellar is made up of stuff you don't care for. Okay, well, yeah, this is a toughie. It's gonna wreck a lot of stuff no matter where it falls. Jeez. Yeah. Beautiful. Wow. Always fraught with hazard. So here's a little bit of that cherry that's split now. Still have some to do. And there's another little stack up there. That's where it was, standing, threatening. So, anyway, that's good. Just home for lunch. I was thinking I might start stacking it in the woodshed right here, but I'm not really up for that. Plus, it's not going to rain till Friday, so give it a little chance to air out. It's really pretty dry. I mean, it was perfect. Standing dead for several years, but not too rotty, and so the texture of the wood's good, but it's fully dry. Perfect. It's starting to feel like autumn. There's just a little coolness in the air, you know? Darn it. Smoking some Fusilier's Ration by who? Now I can't think who produces that. It was a bit in a jar from Dan Squires. Thanks, Dan. From 2013. So it's got a little age on it. It's nice. in a Brian Doran little stubby. He's got a number of pipes up, I noticed, on eBay. He's a great guy. So, yeah, I'll get this wood. I've got lots of wood at Big Valley if I really want to work hard enough. Ah, kitty. Meow. And then under that tarp is some old wood that's really pretty shitty, maple and stuff, that's just kind of rotty. And there's some right over here too that, you know, I don't know why, I just never really got it into the woodshed. But now it's kind of too far gone. So once the burn ban is off, meow, she's a talker, then I'm going to have an outdoor burn here and have people over and kind of make a party out of it. That should be good. This is on the trail to the guest house. Guest house is up there in the woods. And then there's the house. So anyway, something to look forward to. Yeah. Meow, meow. So I'm just in the backyard here. One of my pleasures, I have to say, is sitting here in the evening as twilight falls and just hang out and smoke a pipe and be part of that transition from light to dark. It's just a very simple little pleasure, but it is so great. And with a pipe, it's perfect. You know, it gives you time to reflect. You want to come up? No? Okay. She's kind of like a little dog, but at arm's length. And annoyingly talkative. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, not too annoying, although, yeah, sometimes. But, you know, I find I'm not really home at twilight very much. I mean, I go into work a little later and then work into the evening when it's real quiet. I find that to be my productive time. So I'm not really here that much. I get home after dark. But, or there are night meetings or something I've got to attend. It's, yeah. But this weekend was great. It was just like, very relaxing. Fusiliers. Yeah, it's good. I don't know if it's still made. This is from 2013. Thank you again, Dan. Perfect. You know, the perfect tobacco, your favorite tobacco and pipe, is probably the one you're smoking right now. In half an hour it might be different, but for the moment, you know. And maybe that's one of the good things about smoking a pipe. I guess as you're smoking, you could let your mind just race ahead and strategize and regret the past and relive it all and oh my God, and prophecy on what's going to happen next and oh, you know. On the other hand, maybe this takes place of the Buddhist breath, and so it keeps you in the present moment. That is kind of how it works for me. It just kind of settles you down into this very moment, and then that allows you to kind of see things more clearly as they are, rather than reacting to all the crises. And, you know, it's kind of like time. Time is this kind of elastic thing. We think it's all just second by second by second by second, but really our perception of it is totally different. And if you can get back to the second by second by second by second, it's pretty amazing, pretty major stuff. I mean, it's kind of hard to do. I have to say, those twilight pipe smokes help me do that, because I get wrapped up just like everybody else in, oh my God, I got to do this and I got to do that, and oh my gosh, what about this? Oh, I forgot about that. Got to write that down. Blah blah blah. Our busy, inconsequential lives, right? So if smoking a pipe can be that thing, that activity that centers you and brings you back to a more now-based sense, how great is that? Totally worth any health risk. Yeah, honestly, after a weekend of being home and just kind of putzing around, I ran the DR mower around here, and I did a little brush cutting and cut that tree down and got most of it split, and got a little caught up on my sleep. Wow, is that what retirement is like? I, I could be in for that. But I love my job. I love being engaged in the community, and that's just a temporary thing too, though. You know, once you're out of that, it's like you did your thing. I mean, it's true. Once we've done something, it's good, but it's done. It's finished. And so having a realization of that is useful. Sometimes we just kind of keep living that thing, you know. Remember that book, Working by Studs Terkel? Came out in, I don't know, mid-70s maybe. I was a little underwhelmed by it when it came out, I have to say. But NPR did a little thing. Well, it wasn't NPR exactly. I think it was somebody else's variety radio show. Did a thing where they found his old tapes. He used a portable reel-to-reel, not even cassette, tape player. And so he recorded these interviews with people, many of whom are gone now, of course, but many of their jobs are now gone. So
the show covered maybe 4 or 5 folks who had some very wise things to say about work. Hmm. That was my takeaway. It was like, wow, there's a lot of wisdom. So if you have a chance to hear about that or something, it's worth listening to. Because work, I mean, presumably we all do it unless you're retired from it or whatever. Um, it's just part of what we do as individuals in a society. Like it or not, I know that's a whole nother big topic over a few beers. But I've always thought that work should be something that you did because you were good at it and you enjoyed it, no matter what it was. And I think there are a lot of people who are just golden handcuffed to their jobs by their financial obligations, financial and familial obligations. You know, the kids, the braces, the college, the mortgage, the new cars, the blah, blah, blah. Even though middle management has sure taken a hit in the new economy. So, anyway, I always felt like I wanted a low-cost living situation, preferably my own place and not an apartment. Although I've had some really great apartments. But low cost enough that if I lost my job or was out of work for a few months or whatever, I could still comfortably keep living and not have that threatened. Uh, we're dealing with some homelessness stuff at the moment, and wow, that's a toughie. I mean, you know, tiny houses as a way to get people back on their feet. Some people just aren't able to work. I mean, they just are either too damaged from social or environmental drug use, or just a litany of poor choices where they don't conform to, I don't know, the societal norm where you have to work to make your daily bread. So that's a whole nother topic. I mean, it's like the place of welfare, the role of society, oh God. Yeah. We might as well be talking religion. So anyway, I always thought that I wanted a low-cost place to live, and then I could have whatever job gave me the greatest satisfaction, no matter how much it paid. I mean, I knew that early on. And I've had a few jobs where, oh my gosh, it was so obvious this is hell. And yet, uh, the other person who was working there found it to be like the best job ever, you know? And it's like, really? Oh my God. It was like pushing daggers into my eyes to do it. One of them was working in Denver in the middle of winter in this unheated warehouse full of bales of fiberglass insulation where you'd pull the pickup trucks with the big racks, and each one was different, you know, for a job that would be done the next day where people were insulating people's houses. And so your job was to load the trucks and to have the trucks ready to go for the crews in the morning. And there were like 25 trucks. So, you were in this big warehouse running around getting this type of bale, that type of bale, throwing it down, loading the trucks. And the guy who was doing it, I just needed a job. So this was through Manpower, which was a temp agency. And the guy who was there doing it said, "Oh yeah, this is the greatest job because you can move really fast and run." And so your shift started at about 8 o'clock at night and went until 4 or 5 in the morning. And he said, I could finish by 1 or 1:30, and then I can just put my feet up and watch TV. Oh, just shoot me. Mindless work, a cog in a machine, and then the goal is to maximize your TV time. In the middle of the night, in a cold, unheated warehouse. No, that was not my idea of fun. So, anyway, everybody has their requirements. If I had somebody else to support, I'm not married. And I don't have kids. Almost did, but not quite. So, uh, that would change things. Those are considerations that are really important. But since I don't have those considerations, I can sort of optimize my experience to suit my satisfaction. Wow, it's liberating. And now I'm back off to it. I have to go back to work.